In this episode of Paving the Funnel, Josh Braytag shares his tried and true formula for creating the perfect ad. Josh is the founder of Cubatica, a digital marketing agency that helps consumer brands grow from 7 figures to 8 figures and beyond.
Josh, thanks so much for being here today and joining us for Paving the Funnel. Super excited to tap into your incredible growth mind. To kick us off, can you explain to me what's your framework for thinking about growth?
The way that we think about growth is we tend to break it down to 3 or 4 parts. We tend to think about it from the fact of like, how well does your ad creative actually perform? How's it working? Is it going off the right target audiences? The second part is like, how much can you afford to acquire a person for? So generally the person that can afford to acquire someone for more generally can outprice every competitor in the marketplace. So that's why you see a big focus on like average order values and LTV or lifetime value. And then the other part of that is like the funnel process. So we like to look at like, well, how does a person buy? Is this a compelling offer? You know, are they interested in it? And then the last part is kind of like the actual product or service. So it's like, is it someone actually wants to buy it? Is it like a fad, or is it actually a need that you're supplying for that's like ongoing and stuff? Or is it something that's just like, oh, just a nice to have? It's not a necessity. So therefore it's going to be like, you know, in tough times, like, you know, at the moment, it's like, you know, is it still going to sell? Maybe not, because people don't have as much money as disposable incomes they used to have.
All right, Josh, so what are the right metrics to measure to guide ad creative?
So CPM is like, we look at like, what's the cost per 1,000 impressions? So like, how well is that actually engaging the audience? How often are they actually stopping and looking at that ad? So generally, the lower that your CPM is, the better that you actually are stopping in the feed and getting people to stop and look at that ad. The next one is like CTR. So that's kind of looking like, what's conversion rate from the person actually seeing the ad and then actually jumping across to your website. And then from there, we're kind of looking more so like, what's the add to cart rate and what's the purchase ratio, which are kind of like more down the funnel. You can't really use them to evaluate ads directly, but we find that sometimes you can have a really low CTR and a really high cost per impression, but a great add to cart and a great purchase rate, just because the ad isn't clickable. It isn't highly searchable and isn't like highly interesting for a person straight off. It targets a really perfect audience that's ready to kind of buy right then. So that's why you tend to look at like the add to cart and the purchase rate as well.
Josh, tell me, what does the journey look like to get the ad you want?
So like, we'll test generally across 3 months about 400 to 500 different permutations of ads to kind of find out that like those top 3 performers. And by permutation, it could be different image contrast, different piece of copy, different headline. So like, there's lots of ways. Like, it sounds like a ton, but when you start doing it and you start mixing like, you know, three pieces of copy or 5 different ads, that's like 15 to 20, I think it's 25 permutations there. So it's like, there's a lot of different versions there that you can run with all different types. Why is this one getting all the clicks? Why is this one not getting clicks? Why are the purchases happening? And then looking through the funnel process of like, where's it breaking down? So it's like, when we do these ad tests, we tend to work firstly on like the impression, get the lowest cost per impression possible. Then we start working on the CTR, and then we start working on the like add to the landing page. Is the next one that we'll tend to work on, is like an interim one that we'll work at to kind of see like how many people actually get into the landing page. Because like, how many people click on your ad to how many people get in your landing page isn't always the same number. It's actually different based upon your bounce rate. So it's a good idea of understanding, like, if you got a slow loading website, you'll see a big drop off there as well. So like, you'll see like 25%, 30% drop off. So that's something to like just check out. And then we'll go from like landing page to add to cart. So like, how many people are going on the landing page and how many are adding to cart, and then try and improve that in ratio. And then it goes from add to cart to purchase, and then try and improve that ratio. So we'll work from the top of the funnel all the way down to the bottom end of the funnel as much as we can. And a lot of that stuff on the bottom end of the funnel has to be done more so on the website side than on the ad side. So it's more so about like informing yourself, oh, okay, I've got an issue from landing page to add to cart. That's something you kind of fix on the website side. Do a lot of conversion optimization testing there, because an ad at the front end, its responsibility really is just to get people onto the website, and the website's job is then to convert those people.
Then what? What's the next step?
So yeah, once you get that perfect ad, and I'll put that in quotations, I'm gonna keep it in quotations. Yeah, it's all about like just launching against new audiences. Once you've found these audiences every week, you like leave the ones that are performing week on week, and then just turn off the ones that aren't. Increase the budgets on the ones that are working, so you can scale them week on week, and then you just keep adding and adding and adding. So it's kind of like compounding interest. So we tend to think of growth around like ads and stuff as like investing. So it's like, we're putting a bet on this ad, we're putting a bet on this ad in this audience that's going to do this well, and then we're going to let it go.
There's no perfect like formula. There's no magic trick that's going to get you the perfect ad. It sounds like it's just a series of iterations over and over again, fine tuning until you really find something that clicks.
Yeah, because it's like with any business, like every business has its unique sales proposition. It's never the same. So the one ad that's going to work for one, there's definitely templates and styles that you can use to kind of like get yourself ahead. But to find that absolute best performing creator that's going to work like 3 or 4 ads across every audience that you kind of have in the mass market, that really comes down to like iterating multiple times over and over again, and finding out what ad type works well for you as a business.
Is it ever really over? Do you ever really stop once you get the perfect ad?
No, you never stop. And it's because you never know. You never really know what the perfect ad is until you do retrospective looking. So like, you're always testing, you're always iterating, you're always trying new stuff. You're always trying different funnels, different landing pages, different styles of ads, different copy versions, different image styles. Like, we've even tested putting ads upside down, like images upside down, just to stop people from, like, it's great for stopping people from scrolling, but it doesn't get them to click through. So it's just like, you got to think of pattern interrupts. These, like, you got to think outside the square a bit, because, you know, everyone's doing similar sorts of ad. Everyone's using stock images. Everyone's, you know, once an ad starts working, people start copying it. So you got to be ahead of what everyone else is doing, because, you know, expect your ad to be copied within a month or so by your competitors. If they're not, they've got agencies knowing what they're doing, and they're, you know, keeping track of what you're doing because you're doing really well in the marketplace, your stuff's going to be copied. So you need to keep going, and you can't stop.
What are some of the standard ad templates that you found to consistently be a good jumping off point for creative?
First one is like just testimonial. So that's just like, you know, someone talking about your product saying it's awesome. You really want to kind of make sure that that testimonial is about, you know, the problem they were having, the kind of story they went through, and the solution that you gave them and why it was the best solution for them. That tends to be like the best one. And you want to try and hit, normally a lot of people have about like 6 to 7 kind of pain points. So you kind of want to go after that one. Number 2 is just like aggravating the problem, or questioning, which is the idea of trying to get that into the back of the subconscious, their mind, which is like, for us, it was like, we did it for a mattress company a little while ago. So for them, it's like, you don't really know who's going to buy a mattress. So we kind of have to create that demand for ourselves. So we have to go like, do you wake up in the morning? Do you have a sore back? Are you tired? Are you exhausted? Do you not want to go to work? Do you know that's all related back to potentially having a bad mattress with like mites and stuff in it and these sorts of things? Oh, maybe I should think about replacing that mattress. Every morning I'm waking up with this, you know, I'm exhausted, I'm got a sore back. Okay, maybe I need to, this will fix my problem. The next one is like just celebrity and social proof. So like, if you got celebrities, use them as much as you can. Generally tend to couple that celebrity stuff with a lot of social proof as well. So like, just use generated content of, once again, testimonials, case study kind of stuff on the back end of that, just to kind of like, you know, reconfirm this you know, entity or this celebrity knows what they're talking about. It's a great product. I should at least go jump on the website and check it out. There's just the standard features and benefits. So it's like, you know, this is all the features of the products and this is why it benefits you. So that's always a good one to test, especially in remarketing audiences, when you've done most of the emotive selling on the front end. And then normally on the back end, we tend to do more of a, like a lizard brain kind of example. It's like, you know, the reasons why you buy. So a bit more about the logical process of purchasing rather than the emotive purchase, which happens normally more on the front end. Other ones you can test is like a free offer or money back. We generally tend to prefer to do free offers over discounts. So it's like a value add. So like, we've tested the like 15% discount versus free plus shipping, and free plus shipping did, you know, 300% better than the 15% discount. So it's just like things like that. So it's worthwhile testing that and just seeing how well it performs. Unboxing videos, if you do e-commerce, they're always great and fantastic, of just showing what they will get when they get it. So like, just, you know, alleviating that worry of like, okay, cool, you guys are going to deliver it. This is what I'm going to get exactly. This is how it's going to look. This is how it's going to work. Awesome. Cool. We're done. And then the last one is the modular video. So that's like thinking about video in a modular format. So we split videos up into 4 parts. So the front end part is like a 5-second CTR. The middle part is like the features and benefits of the product or a celebrity. Then like UGC, social proof in the third part, and then a call to action in the end. And the reason why we like the modular format is because you can replace just one part of that modular to then make that ad working again. So like, if the CPMs go really high on that ad specifically, we'll just replace the front part because it's like the scroll stopper, the attention grabber. So then therefore that ad should basically start working again, because all that was the issue on that was that first 5 seconds rather than having to remake the entire video. So they're the different types of templates that we have, and different kind of ones that we run with and test for each sort of client of ours.